So if you have to somehow drop off or you drop off with a bad connection, I'm going to record this and share it with you afterwards, just in case. So welcome to New Student Orientation. Again, I'm Ryan Schaff. Welcome. Here's our evening. I will make sure to introduce all of our colleagues, our School of Education leadership, and I'll also introduce our wonderful advisors in just a second. Just to kind of give you a quick little blueprint for this evening, tonight. So we're going to do tonight's roadmap is welcome and connection. We're going to go over, we'll give you a welcome. We have a wonderful colleague from the library. We're going to go over some digital and academic information, the digital systems that are in this that you have at your disposal that you'll have student handbooks, academic policies, Canvas, our learning management system. We'll talk about integrity and access with your honor code and AI policies, and of course, campus and useful resources at the very end. We will have a section at the very end for questions. And for our Grow Your Own educators joining us, Amy will be hosting a breakout session while we answer questions in the main Zoom room. And I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and just ask some of my colleagues to unmute themselves. I will hold off on Julianne because she's about to do an introduction. So let's go ahead and start with, I'm going to go right down my list. Caroline, can you say hi?
Hi, I'm Caroline Maley, and I am one of the graduate academic advisors for the Masters of Arts in Leadership and Teaching.
Awesome. Thank you, Caroline. Jordan.
Good evening. I'm Jordan Steiner. I'm a new advisor here at NDMU, and I will be working with students in our ACT program.
Thank you, Jordan. Welcome. Angelo.
Hi, everyone. Dr. Angelo Letizia. I'm the department chair for initial programs, and I also work closely in the doctoral program.
Dr. Pallett.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Lisa Pallett, Associate Dean in the School of Education. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you. Lauren Mealy.
Hi, I'm Lauren Mealy. I am the doctoral and case advisor.
Awesome. Molly King.
Hi, I'm Molly King. I'm the Director of Clinical Field Experience, so I support and supervise internships and field placements.
Awesome. Thank you. Renee.
Hi, I'm Renee Gongor-Simons. I am the undergraduate advisor for cause students.
Thank you, Renee. Amy.
Mr. Daniel, this is going to take more than 1 hour.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Amy Kauser. I am advisor for also for some initial certification, but also the Grow Your Own resident teacher apprenticeship programs.
Thank you. Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna Schister. I'm the director of advising. Welcome.
Thank you. And am I missing any of our colleagues? If I do, hold on. I have a second page. Sorry. A lot of people on tonight. Extremely happy. I think that might be it. Advisors, School of Ed leaders, did I forget anybody? If I did, I apologize. Okay, I think I got everybody. Good stuff. All right, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our dean, Dr. Dupuy, for her remarks for the student orientation.
Thanks, Ryan. So welcome, everyone. Really excited to have you all here. This is, I think, our largest group for new student orientation. So I'm glad to see everyone here. I know you're all at various places with what you're doing for work, and then what you're going to get your degrees in. So, this is a really important part of joining the School of Education or coming back to the School of Education. If you're coming back for another degree, you'll get lots of great information. There are lots of supports here for you. So please use all of the resources that Dr. Schaff will be going over tonight. And know that, we're here for you. And if you have questions or concerns, your advisor is definitely your first stop. And they'll be able to help you navigate this and figure out, what's happening. And for our new Grow Your Own and apprentices that are joining the call, we're really, really excited to be working with you. This is a new wave of teacher certification. So, this is going to be great. We're very happy and privileged to have you all with us. So have a great orientation and reach out if you need anything. So thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Dupuy. In a moment, I'm going to put this PowerPoint presentation up. I was able to take it and it becomes almost like a package of helpful resources for you in the future. So not only are you going to have a School of Education website that's helpful and you can go in and find policies, protocols, and so forth, but this has actually become a resource that you can actually take with you, bookmark, come back. If you need to access something in the future, you can. It's filled with a ton of links and resources. So anyway, so thank you for joining our community. It's built on strong preparation, social responsibility, and meaningful impact. Tonight, again, throughout your process, you're going to learn, you're going to connect tonight with faculty, with peers, with the library, with technology, with student support. And we're going to apply. We're going to turn ideas into practice, into classrooms, organizations, communities, leadership settings. You're going to be working in that your entire time here at Notre Dame. So I'm going to turn this over to my colleague Kate from the library. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to turn it over to Kate.
Perfect. Ryan, do I have the ability to share my screen?
About to do it right now.
Fantastic. Y'all have to excuse me. I just got back from vacation a little while ago, and I'm starting to lose my voice as a side effect, I think, of too much rest. So I'm going to do my best tonight. Thanks for inviting me. I always love coming to the School of Ed orientations at the beginning of the semester. It's a really great way to start the year off with you guys. As Ryan said, my name's Kate Newton. I'm the online learning librarian at Loyola Notre Dame Library, and I'm also the liaison to both schools of education. So I would be the person that you would be most likely to contact for help with your different studies and avenues of research. Most of you are going to see me again. Some of you very soon. I know I'm already scheduled into one of the 702 classes to give an introduction to the library discussion. So Notre Dame School of Ed is really great about getting our librarians in to talk to you guys early on. So I'm not going to cover a whole lot about the library in depth tonight, but I just wanted to show you a couple of things that we think are very important for you to know on our website. So I'm going to share my screen, and you should now be able to see our lovely website with the picture of our beautiful building down at the bottom of the hill from you guys. We hope the fact that it's at the bottom of the hill won't prohibit you from coming to visit us if you are on campus. Now, the couple of things that I'm going to show you, I really think are the most important things for you as starting out graduate students. And the single most important thing that I can think of to show you how to do is how to get help when you need it. So how to get connected with a librarian. One of the easiest ways is to look in the bottom right-hand corner of any of our pages of our website, and you should see a blue-green bar that says Chat with a Librarian. And this opens our chat service. So this chat service runs 24/7, 365. It's staffed by LNDL librarians most of the day and by librarians at other colleges or with the chat service that we work with overnight. Regardless, anytime that you drop in, you're going to get a trained professional librarian who has access to all of our resources and can help you answer questions. And this is a really great, fast way to get in touch with somebody. If you're in one of our databases and doing research and you get stuck, you can get answers to a quick question very quickly. Even if they're not local, they will take your name and email address if they hit a snag when they're working with you, and they will send your information and a transcript of the chat to us so that we can pick up with you the next time we possibly can. The other ways to get a hold of us are to go to the help bar on our main menu and go to Ask a Librarian. So these are all the different ways to contact us. There's another copy of our really nice chat box over here. You can call us at the listed phone number anytime the building is open. And if you're not sure if the building is open, you can click this link and it gives you all of our hours. You can also email a question to us. We ask that you give us up to 48 hours to answer because our librarians don't work on the weekends. So if you email us on a Friday, you'll hear back from us on Monday. You can also just walk into the library if you're close or on campus and walk up to the help desk and ask for help. We have an on-call model, so they will call one of us to come help you. And then finally, and this is something that your professors are going to ask you to do, and that we always really, really strongly recommend you try to do at some point early in your classes, is schedule a meeting with a librarian. This lets you set up a 30-minute one-on-one meeting with one of our research librarians. So for example, you could ask to see me because you've met me, you know who I am, I'm a familiar face now. And you can say, well, I need to have a meeting next Thursday at 2 o'clock. And then it will ask you to fill out a form, tell me a little bit about your assignment and how much research you've done. And the answer to that second question can be as simple as I haven't started my research. I don't know where to start my research. I don't know how to make a good search. I just need some help. It doesn't matter. We just need to know where you are so we can meet you there. And then speaking of where you are, you can choose to meet us either online on Zoom or in person at the library, whichever works best for you. And you can use this service as many times as you want to. There's no limit on how many meetings that you can have with us. I have one student who is Kimmy from New York, and I think Kimmy from New York might be done with her PhD this year. I've been here 4 years, and we have at least 3 meetings a semester every semester. So we do love to see our recurring students. The other thing that I'm going to show you very quickly is also in the help section, and it is all the way down towards the bottom. There's a listing called Graduate Student Library Resources. And this is where we pulled together everything that we thought was most important for graduate students to be able to access in one place at one time. And it has information about how to do stuff on the website. So everything from the top 5 library skills for your first semester. So how to find a librarian, how to schedule a consultation, all the way up through reminders of how to do specific things, like what are these different research methods. Maybe you're assigned a literature review and you've never done one before, or you've been out of graduate school for 30 years and you need a refresher. So we have all kinds of material in here that can help you with your work. The last thing that I'll show you really quickly is under the manage your research session. It's the source and citation management. And we really strongly recommend that all of our graduate students use a citation manager called Zotero. It lets you put all of your research in one place and sift through it. And they have some fantastic tutorials that are better than the things that we can come up with, honestly. But it helps all of your research material in one place. It's free. And I am happy to sit down with any of you at some point and teach you how it works. It just keeps all of your stuff in one place. It would have been much better than the index cards and notebook rings that we had when I was in graduate school. So that is just a really very tiny sample of everything that the library has to offer. We have a ton more, everything from maker spaces to virtual reality space. And we are really looking forward to seeing you guys and getting to work with you in some of these really interesting projects.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kate, for stopping in. We appreciate your time, your
You're
commitment
welcome,
to
Ryan.
our students at the School of Ed. Sorry, everybody's contacting me now, and they shouldn't be contacting me. Anyway, so yes, thank you very much, Kate. Have an excellent evening, and again, hopefully you'll go and visit Kate and her wonderful staff over at the library.
Yeah, please do, definitely. You
Thank
guys
you
have a good evening. Good rest of your orientation.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go over some important IT information. So let me go ahead and share my screen again and share. If you notice in the chat box, I put a file and a link. So the link again is to the orientation website, and I did upload the presentation that I'm doing tonight. So this way you can have access, because it actually does have everything linked that you would possibly need for to be, to be able to navigate the new School of Education, all the different websites at Notre Dame. Got it. There we go. Okay. So I want to start off with the new website. So they just ended up they just launched the new ndm.edu website. So if you use this presentation, it's slide 6. If you click the open button, it will open up to the ndm.edu. And it is filled with everything, all the information of our programs. You can get to the School of Education website, so forth. You, as a student, do get access to Notre Dame email. It is policy, and I'll let Dr. Letizia talk about it in a minute, that you will need to use that when doing communication with your instructors and the personnel at the university. So there is a link to the information on how to get to it actually on that. You should have gotten technology credentials from IT, and the way to access it, and also the way to log in with your username and your password. It does require you to change your password every 3 months or so. So please make sure to keep track of that. You can always contact IT if you can't remember your password, but it's always best, it's always fastest if you just, write down or let it follow your rules for creating passwords. If you have to gain access to a lot of all of our information systems, like the email, like Notre Dame, we have Gator Hub, which is our student portal. And this is also one that we go in as employees, but the student portal is right here. If you click on Gator Hub, it gives you access to self-service. Self-service is our information system. It's our student information system. It's also where you would go to pay your bills, to look up your course information, and so forth. So self-service is an absolutely crucial system to get into. It should have been with your login credentials once you started with the university. It should have self-service and how to log into it. There's Canvas right here, which I'll take you in just a quick little guided tour in a few moments. Canvas is our learning management system. A lot of the school systems in the area use Canvas as their management system. We also do the same thing too. If you need to somehow reset your password, you can always go to Gator Hub and click in password reset. And to go to Student Portal right here, the Student 365, you gain access to all the Microsoft Office cloud resources. So you can go in here, you can check your email, you can create documents, PowerPoints, presentations, and save it to the cloud. Okay, so that is Gator Hub. Here's also a link to self-service, which I mentioned, and here is the link to Canvas. All right. So if you, by some chance, need help, you can always contact the IT help desk. The phone number is 410-532-5200. It is right down here. Or you can email them at helpdesk@ndm.edu. All right. So that's kind of like a quick little introduction to all the different digital systems you may have to access while you're at Notre Dame. It's slide 6 inside this presentation, so hopefully it is helpful. Okay. So let me get back to my page here. Okay. The student handbook. So I've gone back to my website, and I'm going to click on this home page right here. So I'm back on the website. If you scroll down, if I'm going too fast or you miss something, or if you have a hiccup or something, I'm going to put the recording for this orientation here when we're done. And on the home page, it's a rather long one, but it's going to give you a lot of access. So there is the School of Education specific handbooks are here. So you have the graduate handbook and you have the undergraduate handbook. So they're right here. And these are School of Education specific. So we try, and of course there are university handbooks that you can absolutely look up, Notre Dame's handbooks, and I'll make sure to give you access to that too. There's the honor code again, which Dr. Letizia will talk about in just a moment. And there's also a lot of other information. So let me go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing for a second there. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Professor Letizia at the moment, so he can go over his section.
Okay, hello everyone. So first, I have three things I want to talk about. First is some of the important academic policies and protocols. As Dr. Schaff already said, you must use your NDMU email once you get it up and running. This is absolutely critical. Professors are not supposed to engage with you with your personal email. So it's really, really important that you are always using your NDMU email when you are working with professors or advisors or whoever. So Dr. Schaff gave the directions on how to do that. Your syllabus and Canvas shell should be open before the course starts, roughly 10 days to 2 weeks before the course starts. So generally, professors will send an email out. So go in there, check, look at the syllabus. So that brings me to the next point, and perhaps one of the most important things that I'll say tonight. Always, always, always check the syllabus. So it's important to think of the syllabus as sort of the main source of the course, where and Canvas is more the delivery system. So professors will many times put a good deal of information in the syllabus and a more truncated form in the for Canvas. And so a lot of times professors will get emails saying, "Hey, I don't see this," or "Where's the description for this?" or "Where's the?" And a lot of times we just email back, "It's in the syllabus." So always make sure you are checking the syllabus, combing through that, for due dates, for descriptions. All that information is going to be in there. So generally, most of it will be on Canvas, but a lot of times I know even for my courses, we could just do a little bit more on the syllabus than we actually can put on the weekly modules for Canvas. So please make sure you are always checking that before you email a question, and just to have it and know it in general for every course, because it is the foundation of every course. So incompletes. Hopefully you never need one. Sometimes you do. An incomplete basically gives the student a little more time to complete coursework. However, these are not given lightly. These are only given under extenuating circumstances, up to the discretion of the professor. And one of the non-negotiables is the student needs to have at least completed 50% of the work in the course. And again, that's up to the discretion of the professor of what constitutes 50%. So if you think you may need it incomplete, the best thing to do is email your professors, contact your professor early. Do not wait to the last 2 days of the course and say, "I didn't do anything. Can I have an incomplete?" That's generally not going to fly. If you need an incomplete or you think you might, please be in contact with your professor as early as possible. So sometimes I'll have students email me halfway through the course saying, "Hey, somebody went to the hospital," or "I have this," or "I have this." And a lot of times they wind up not needing an incomplete, but sometimes they do. And if they have contacted me early, I can lay out the protocol for them. They know they need 50% done, and then I can give them an incomplete. So again, incompletes are not going to be given lightly. We try to reserve them only for extenuating circumstances. Again, what that constitutes, your professor will have discretion. If you are granted an incomplete, you and your professor will then have a timeline for when the assignments are due. And if those assignments are not done, if they're not submitted by that date, or they are not done in satisfactory manner, then the grade will revert. It'll revert to an F. So it's very, very important to be in constant communication. If you think you need an incomplete, and then once you are granted an incomplete, it's still important to continue with communication. So again, I cannot stress enough, do not wait till the last. Now, if something comes up in the last week, fine. But if you know something is going on, please be in constant contact with your professor about that. And again, that just is good advice when dealing with anything in your courses. Speak to your professors early. We're flexible, we're reasonable. We know life happens. Do not wait until the last minute, or do not dispute a grade and never have talked to the professor. And I'll talk about grade disputes in a moment. But it is best to be proactive early on and being in contact with your professor for any type of issue. And Dr. Schaff, Dr. Dupuy, Dr. Powell, if I missed something, please just interject.
No, it's great. And if if by some chance there is like a disagreement, you're not going to be able to argue every single grade inside of the course. You can the most that you could do is first have a discussion with the instructor. A lot of times, it'll escalate all the way to the dean before the instructor even knows there's a problem. That's not how this is handled. What you would do is first you have a discussion with the instructor. A lot of times that discussion can end up remedying the situation. Expectations are understood, explanations are clear, and a lot of times that will, that'll take care of the issue. If by some chance the student feels like there's not enough satisfaction in the decision, or they think something's might be wrong with the situation, they can then escalate it to the chair. So there's initial certification, initial licensure. I probably say that to the day I die, but initial licensure, which would be, they have a chair, and also advanced programs, they have a chair. So you would then go to the chair. And then after discussing it with the chair and the instructor, if the situation has to escalate, then it would go to the dean. So there is a contact chain that should be respected.
And so go to your professor first. If you get a final grade, and let me back up a little bit. Only final grades can be disputed. You cannot dispute individual grades on assignments and things like that. The only thing that can be appealed is your final grade. But that must first go, and there's a final grade appeal form and process, which I believe is on the website. And then that gets sent to your professor first. And then, as Dr. Schaff said, if that is not satisfactory, then it would go to the department chair. Okay. So again, but as he said, and I can't stress that enough, a lot of this can be prevented with early and constant communication with your professor. Okay, so next I want to briefly talk about the honor code, and I just want to briefly share my screen.
You should be able to. Yep.
And so this is our website, so I encourage you to look at this. Honor code you can think of as academic and behavioral. So, and I'll let each professor is going to have some more detailed guidelines, but as you can imagine, right, plagiarism is not allowed, right? What constitutes plagiarism? There are a number of different things. I won't go into everything right now, and the library would have some resources on this. And like I said, each professor in each discipline might be a little different. But if we're copying and pasting something off the internet, obviously that's going to be plagiarism. If we are using ideas that are not our own and not citing them, even if we are citing things but we're not accurately paraphrasing them enough, that's also going to be plagiarism. And again, there's going to be discretion in this with your professor. So if you are not sure, email your professor. So email your professor. I've had many conversations with students. Hey, I want to do this. How do I cite this properly? Right. So again, it's best to be proactive. But if we are cutting and pasting or copying and pasting, that is generally going to be plagiarism. That is going to be a violation and can be brought before the honor board. Professors can, again, a lot of this is worked out before it goes to the honor board, but it can, if it does escalate, it can go to the honor board. The other issue, and Dr. Schroff's going to have a lot more resources on this, and I don't want to steal his thunder or anything, but obviously the use of AI has added a whole new wrinkle to plagiarism. There is language in our syllabi, and I know for my courses, I add a little bit of what is acceptable and not acceptable uses of AI. So for my course, you can't copy and paste something you get from, and this is for any course, but you can't copy and paste something you get from ChatGPT, but you can use ChatGPT to have a conversation with, to summarize something, but you can't copy and paste that, or to help you build an outline. And again, I outline a number of things that are acceptable in my history and philosophy courses. Dr. Schaff, I don't know if you want to say anything else about that. If there's anything else I missed.
So each instructor is going to have their own like AI specific guidance for you, and each instructor is different. It also depends on the subject and the content area. And the easiest way, and a lot of students might be nervous about using AI and think it's a complete cheat, and that's really up to your own philosophy. That's fine. I always say the best philosophy to have is that AI should be used to support thinking, not substitute it. So it should never be used in substitution of learning and thinking. It should only be used for support. So outlining, brainstorming, coming up with different ideas, scenarios, um, letting it ask you some questions about a topic. You can absolutely use AI ethically and morally, but you have to be very careful, make sure to cite if it's being used with approval from the instructor. And of course, if there's a question, reach out to the instructor. They have their own policy set in place. That's really all I was going to say about AI policy. It is in the School of Education handbook, a little bit more the specific policy, which I didn't paste up here because I'm trying to give each instructor some flexibility to do their own policy. Because my policy would be different than Dr. Letizia's. He's a historian, I'm an ed tech professor, so we use ours in different contexts and different subject areas. So,
but yeah. So, and again, just check with your professor. And if you are using it, you need to cite it as well. But again, this can be this can be discipline specific, but you are not forbidden to use AI. We just have to use it responsibly. Somebody in the Zoom chat said the syllabus is your Bible. I like that.
Yep.
I think that's a good mantra from what I was saying before. So yes, absolutely. The last thing, one more piece about the honor board that's important. So I talked about the academic piece, the academic component of honor code violations, which I think most of you are probably familiar with, having gone through undergraduate. But there's also a behavioral aspect to it too. Treat people, your instructors and your advisors civilly. I can't tell you how many times we get nasty, somebody's threatening emails. We're not going to stand for that. That's just not right. We don't need to be berated. And it works both ways, right? We're not going to berate our students either. So we need to treat each other with respect and civility. But egregious breaches of etiquette can go to the honor board as well. The last thing I wanted to mention is the Office of Accessibility. And there's going to be links and resources for this. But if you believe that you may need accommodations, such as extended time, things like that, it is best for you to contact the Office of Accessibility as soon as possible. So what you cannot do is wait for the entire course to go by and then on the last day send an email to the professor and say, oh, I have accommodations, right? If you are granted accommodations by the Office of Accessibility, those need to go to the professor prior to the start of the course. And then the professor can use those in building the course, for you. But those have to come in the beginning, and they have to be documented with the Office of Accessibility. So I cannot stress that enough, because sometimes we'll get people who will come in with like a few days left and say, oh, I get these accommodations, or I didn't send it early. It has to be sent before the course starts, and the professor has to there has to be a conversation between you, the professor, and the director of accessibility. So I cannot stress that enough, that has to be a formal document prior to the course. This cannot be given afterward. They do not have to be honored if they are given afterward. And then the links, that's on the website. I think that my portion is done, unless I missed anything.
Nope. And I'm inside the presentation. There is information about the Office of Accessibility, and also the link on how you can get in contact with them if you feel like you need to have that discussion with them. And that discussion is again, it's with them, so it's it has to go through that office. So please make sure to follow up if you need it. All right. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. I want to show you the academic calendar. So Notre Dame, we have a very, a wide array of programs, and we have a wide array of different semesters and terms and so forth. The School of Education typically uses an 8-week term for a lot of its courses, but not all of them. I want to stress that not all of them, but many of them might be term A or term B. So a lot of people are like, well, when does my class start and when does it end? So inside of, let's see there, and let me share my screen again and show you what it looks like here. Right here. There you go. Is the academic calendar. If you click on, again, if you go to ndm.edu, if you just type in academic calendar, it is also linked on the main orientation page. So you can always click it to there. If you click on it, it will open up this page right here. It looks just like this. Make sure you're on the toggle to 2026, 2027 if you're not on it. But here are the terms. You have everything from like Thanksgiving holidays to special community days and commencement for the spring. You have term start and end dates. You have things like the first day to register, last day to register, dropping without penalty, last day to withdraw with the W, last day of the class. So there's a lot of different dates here. I suggest bookmarking the academic calendar, or again, just keep this presentation. It will be the slide right here that I was sharing before I clicked off of it. Slide number 9 gives you access to the calendar. Okay, academic calendar is absolutely useful to keep track of when courses will start and when they will end. Okay. Next is Canvas. So Canvas is our learning management system. I'm not going to spend all of our time going through all of Canvas, but I will let you kind of take a little sneak peek and show you some of the main features that would be in Canvas. I'll take you for the, just momentary tour. I did open up. Oh, I did. Guess I did. Okay, so let me go to Canvas. Let's see, Canvas. Awesome. So when you enter Canvas, and again, I have a lot of tiles. You won't have nearly as many tiles as I will. You're going to go into, these are like little tiles right here. These are courses. So I'm going to go into a course that hasn't opened yet, which is a course that hasn't started yet, but is open. Here is my 609 course. So I've just entered it. On here, there is, if you want to look at your grades, you can click on grades. If just clicking on here, you can access, and you're only going to see your grades, obviously. On this page also, you'll see everything from links to documents to discussion boards. Again, if you go into a discussion board, you can click on it, and then the prompt will come up. You can hit reply and then type out whatever it is. If you want to go back, here's a breadcrumb trail right here. You can click back on the course title and go back to the home page. If you need to turn work in, like here's my self-assessment is like my assignment 1. If you click on here, you can either turn work in here, you can go to the grade section, turn work in there, but this is where you'll do your work, submit your work, and then again, the instructor can give you feedback using Canvas. I think trying to think of other things, grades, assignments. Most people use home to even upload their syllabus. There is a section on there that says syllabus. It might be empty, it might be full, it depends on the person, but typically, like, I just put mine right up here in the very first instructional block in Canvas. You'll see that some of these blocks are just are right now they're kind of X'd out. It means that you can't see them as a student. So if an instructor ever says something like, oh, module 2 is open, you go there and it's just module 1, it could have been that they just forgot to click a button. Just be nice to them, give them some grace, and just tell them, hey, we don't see that. Are you sure you've opened it? Just mention that to them, and then they can come in here and open it and have it for you. Let's see. If you need to contact your instructor, there is inbox. It does send an email to their Notre Dame email account too. But again, if they are, so you can use the inbox. If your instructor does use the calendar, it can kind of keep track of due dates and stuff. If you want to get back to the main screen quickly, you can click on dashboard and it'll take you right back to all of your different Canvas tiles. And if you need help, Notre Dame did pay for the help 24/7 type of online chat. So you're chatting with somebody who can actually help you. It's not just some sort of like bot, it's an actual person that can help you, guide you. So if you need to go and do help, it will be somebody to give you assistance, usually in a chat box or a feature or something like that. So that is Canvas. Okay, so we already went over the honor code. We already went over the Office of Accessibility. I want to go ahead and talk about just some some resources that you would probably want access to, and that is your student ID cards. Now, some of you might be like, "Well, I'm never going to be on campus. Why would I do that?" Well, your student ID gives you absolute great resources for everything. Number one, the library. So you have to have like that code to be able to check things out and get access to the library databases. Also, the discounts. I use my discounts for faculty and for students. You can get discounts just about everywhere. Everything from the movie theaters to a lot of clothing shops will give you discounts. So ask and see if they have a student discount. You have access, so that might help you. Um, and of course, if you're on campus, it's obviously where your plans would be. If you're living on campus, it's probably how you'll access the residence halls. Um, when you come to campus, there is a place called Rice Hall. It's a small building right next to the big Caroline building. That's where you would get your student ID. I suggest you get it, even if you're going to be online forever. Get it at some point because it's absolutely crucial. It's vital. And again, it's you pay for it. Might as well get access to everything we have. We have gyms. You could go to free games here if you want to. I mean, the basketball games are awesome. The soccer games are awesome. Come, do it. And of course, do not loan your card out to anyone. Okay. So, and again, it's at the bottom of Caroline Hall. I'm sorry, that's at Rice Hall. We do have a document center too. So if you ever need to print something out, I don't know all the different details. You would have to email Gator, you'd have to email the document center printing at ndm.edu to ask them questions if you want to print out stuff. Do have a question here? Let me see. I would recommend printing the academic calendar for the semester and keeping it readily accessible. Renee, our wonderful advisor for our undergrad programs, said making sure to print out the academic calendar for the semester, help ensure the important dates are always in front of you. Excellent. So sorry, Renee, I picked that up a little late. Apologies. So yes, excellent. So anyway, student card document. There is also, come on, there we do have public safety and security. So if by some chance you have a class at night, you're uncomfortable, they're nice. They'll actually give you an escort to your car. There are blue phones around campus. If you see something, obviously call, report it, get help. And of course, anytime there's a immediate emergency, always 911. But if you're at access to a phone, campus extension is 6666. So it's not 36s, so I feel better. If you want to sign up for E2 Campus, that is the like text-based notification alert for alerts and stuff like the university's closed for terrible storms or the power is out or something like that. You can sign up for alerts. I know that I sometimes get them when there's a snow delay. So you are absolutely able to sign up for that. If you need to gain access, there's two places for security. It's in the basement of Caroline. That's the Office of Public Safety. And there's also a place if you need to get like a student like a badge for parking. That would be at the dispatch area right by it's right on the first floor as you enter Caroline Hall. It's right by the beautiful statue. And it's right by the office of the president. It's like right there in the door. So that's access to the dispatch area and the switchboard. So that is public safety. Okay. So to be helpful, what I ended up doing is I took all of the links that I went over this evening, and I packaged them all into this slide. Slide 15 is kind of like here is it all. This is what, if you need high IT help desk, here's how to contact them. If you need the academic calendar, here's to click on it. If you want the School of Education website that I've been, mentioning, you can obviously click on that and access it too. So slide 15 on the PowerPoint presentation is extremely helpful. Okay. Colleagues, did I forget anything before I open up questions? Okay. So this is how it's going to run the rest of the evening. So I'm going to open this up for questions. I am going to open up a breakout room for Amy Kauser and for our Grow Your Own group. So, and everybody else can remain in the main room. We'll answer any questions. But if you don't have any questions, you are more than welcome to drop off. And I thank you for a wonderful evening. Tried to give you back some of your time, but let me go ahead. So if you're in the Grow Your Own, just give me a second. Let me set up this breakout room. Hopefully nobody's breaking up. I'll stop recording now too.